Guess who's back? Back again. Lead us back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Hey there, friends. Welcome back to my channel. Shalita here. You guys, we're in November now. It's time to start thinking about that dreaded C word, Christmas. But I'm not there yet. I am not there yet. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. You know, we got Thanksgiving. Let's slow down. It's fall, people. So, yeah, I'm not ready for Christmas yet. Let's not even talk about that yet. Why did I even bring it up, right? So anyway, guys, if you were here last week, we picked my November TBR. I picked 10 books thanks to Fate, the handy dandy random wheel. We picked 10 books, right? It's pretty fiction heavy. And not only is it fiction heavy, there's some pretty heavy books. I'm excited about pretty much, I'm not gonna say pretty much because then it's like, well, what are you not excited about? I'm excited about everything that I picked, but the problem for me is, and I'm sure plenty of you out there are the same way, we pick our TBR, right? We pick all these great books. We purchase all these great books, but then the overwhelming feeling sets in. Where do I start? Where do I start? Y'all, I mean, seriously, I picked there's some slamming fiction books on here. I just don't know which book to start with. I mentioned in the video about possibly doing a taste test, and shout out to Lisa, or Aunt Lisa. She was like, hey, yeah, that sounds kind of cool. That could be fun. So that's what we're doing today. We are going to do a little sample, little taste test of the heavy fiction books that we have here. Let's read a chapter, the first chapter from each book. And that's how we'll pick our first read from November. Because yes, it's November, what's today? Today's November 5th. And I have not started one of my books yet. Do not judge me. Judge your mama, okay? I haven't started these books yet. It's not to say that I haven't been reading, because if I mentioned to you all, I had some arcs that I need to finish. So I've been reading that. I've been working on the arc still, but I'm ready to dive into this November TBR. So I feel like that was really wordy and I was just rambling there. Game plan. Read the first chapter of these books. So we have Daughter in Exile by B.C. Ajapone. So this is a historical fiction. So we have our main character, Lola. This is set during the 90s. So Lola's from Senegal. She is basically on top of the world in Senegal. Like, she is living the dream. She's got an amazing career, an amazing life. And then she meets this American Marine. And you know what happens when you fall in love. You know, you make some changes and sacrifices in your life. And that change and that sacrifice for her is moving to America to be with her Marine. Y'all, I'm gonna have to pause the video because my mother-in-law just pulled up. We're gonna get back to this in a minute. Oh gosh, you guys, look who's here! It's Pepper! It's the demon! It's the demon! She gonna lick me in the mouth. Look, say hi, Pepper! Say hi! I know y'all have not seen Pepper in months. That's because she's been with her other mama, her real mama. Oh, but she came for a visit. Oh, okay, just don't get the lips. Don't get the lipses. Yes, but it's Pepper, guys. It's Pepper, and she pissed all over the porch because she was so excited. She's so excited. Yeah, she peed on the porch. I stopped her before she could get in the house and pee in the house. For those of you who don't know, this is Pepper. Pepper was with us for several months before she went on to her forever home. And yeah, so she's just here for a visit. All right. Say bye, Pepper. Say hi to Rocket. Say hi to Rocket. Look at the camera. Say hi to Rocket. Say hi, Raina and Y'all, we're back. Don't ask me how long it took me to realize I wasn't actually filming. So, once again, Daughter in Exile by B.C. Ajapone. This is a story about Lola. Lola is our main character. This is historical fiction. Lola is from Senegal. She is a graduate student with an amazing life. You know, great social life, great job, great apartment. You know, what more can a girl ask for? And then she does what many of us do. She falls in love. And she falls in love with this U.S. Marine. And she moves to America to be with her man. Life's different. Life's different for a woman from Senegal. It's different for her in America. And she is dealing with a lot of adversity and a lot of adjustment. It's a culture shock going from, your home country, your native country, to, this foreign land. So we get to see what that experience is like for an immigrant in America in the 90s. This one's gonna be a good one. So that's one of our options. The next one, this is one that I know. This is going to be a crybaby book that's gonna have me down so bad. This is another historical fiction. This is River Sing Me Home by Eleanor Shearer. This story is about an enslaved woman, and all her children are sold off into slavery. She's a slave, children are slaves, but they are sold off to, different plantations. And just, scattered across the US, scattered across the world. And, she's, as any mother would be, she's devastated. And she decides, hey, there is no life without my babies. There is no life for me. So she runs away and she sets out to find her children. And sounds like it's going to be a heartbreaking story, but maybe even a story of like hope. I don't know. I just know that we're going to be going on a journey with this woman, and yeah, I'm gonna be down bad. Next, we have Hold My Girl by Charlene Carr. So this is another, or at least what sounds like another heartbreaking fiction. This follows our two main characters, Catherine and Tess. Catherine and Tess have both been struggling with getting pregnant. Issues of fertility, and they both undergo IVF treatment. One woman has a successful live birth, the other one does not. Time goes past, years go by, and then they get a call from the fertility clinic saying there was a mistake. Their eggs were switched. The child that was born is not biologically connected to the mother that has raised her for years. It is biologically related to the woman, the other woman. So, sounds like we're gonna go on a heartbreaking journey with both of these women, who are both clearly gonna be going through some issues of grief and I imagine anger and frustration and all those things. So this one sounds like a tough read as a mom. River Sing Me Home as well. Tough reads. It's a tough month to be a mom. So excited for these, as much as one can be when you think about how much crying I'm gonna be doing. Our last option is This Motherless Land by Nikki May. So this is this is contemporary fiction. So we have two main characters. We have Funky and then her cousin, what's her cousin's name? Liv. Funky lives in Nigeria, Liv lives in England. Tragedy strikes and Funky is forced to go live with her family in England, which of course includes Liv. Things are different in England. It's not the life that she grew up with in Nigeria. They're kind of cold, they're kind of distant. It's not as vibrant and lively as her life in Nigeria. But amazingly, her cousin Liv is pretty free-spirited and just vivacious and full of life. So these two cousins, they form this bond. and then something happens, and apparently, you know, they kind of grow apart. This one sounds like it's going to deal a lot with family dynamics, you know, family dysfunction. Those are our options. So these are our 4 options for this reading vlog. Okay, so we're gonna read one chapter, and we're gonna read the first chapter of each book, and we'll see which one is gonna be the one for the vlog. So I think we'll start in alphabetical order, and we'll just go with Daughter in Exile by B.C. Ajapone. This will be the first one that we start with. So we're gonna read chapter 1 of this bad boy. Oh, like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, come back. Okay, this is already starting out kind of... Listen to this. She says, Akua is what my family called me because I was a girl born on Wednesday. I used to hate it. What scant appreciation I had for our culture then. I hate my Western name too, Olivia. My mother's obsession with the name felt like a nutmeg grater on my skin. I didn't care that it had belonged to her childhood best friend who died. My parents had given the name to my big sister, who had died at age 3 or 6. No one is sure exactly when. When I was born, they affixed the same name to me, which left me feeling that I was supposed to be a replacement for my dead sister. I felt no connection to her, no sense I'd been on Earth before. The whole business kept me awake at night. I imagined my sister's ghost hissing, "You're not me." Yo, I get it. Like, I know that it is common for, you know, like, even in our family to, like, kind of, like, name you after somebody. But, like, being named after, like, a grandparent, or being named after, you know, an aunt and uncle, or even your parent. But to name your child after your dead child? Like, I get it. Like, I would feel some kind of way too, because, you know, where's your own identity? You know, like, where's your own identity in that sense? Like, literally your sibling. Not that y'all, like, have the same middle name. Like, you're giving me... It'd be one thing if, you know, like, I like, most of our brothers have the same middle name, but they're, like, named after, you know, like, our dad or whatever. But... oh, yeah, I feel some kind of way too. All right, let me keep going, because this is only page 2. So this is starting out pretty good already. This is kind of set, I guess, in present day. So it starts out with a letter from her mom in 2007. And it sounds like she's been in America for 10 years at that point. So I guess the rest of the book is going to be like a flashback, so to speak. Because it says, like, the next part says, like, part 1. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I teared up a little bit. But it's a letter from her mom, like, saying, hey, I haven't heard from you in years. I guess you don't love me. Like, you know... just her mom, like, hey, you know, I haven't heard from you, worried about you, you know, things are going on with me, you know, if I don't get to talk to you again, you know, just remember all the lessons I've taught you, type situation. Like, mom is writing a fucking goodbye letter at this point. And then she writes back to her mom, and that's the part that got me, like, teared up. She's like, hey, I know you don't think that I remember. She's like, hey, Like, I could never hate you. You're my mom. You're the one who gave me life. I remember you saving my life. You think that I was too young to remember this, but I can tell you in vivid detail what happened when I almost died and you saved my life. You know, and like, you know, basically saying, hey, you know, there are some, you know, I think about you every day. There are some things that I regret, some choices that I've made that I regret in this life, and I wish that I had taken, you know, heed of more of the lessons you taught me. So, and also, she said she's getting ready to head into court. So now I'm intrigued. Like, why are you going to court? What happened? So, a nice way to hook you in, a nice start to this. You know, so you're intrigued by, like, why is it taking her so long to communicate with her mom? What has prevented her possibly from communicating with her mom? And why the hell is sis going to court in this charcoal color suit? You know, what's going on? So I'm intrigued. You know, that's option one. So let's roll with our next choice. Let's see what we got next. I'm like looking from here. What would be next? Okay. Charlene Carr. Yeah, that's next on the list. Hold My Girl. Hold My Girl. We're going to read chapter 1 from Hold My Girl. And see, yeah. See, I'm not looking at the... Stop looking at the viewfinder yourself. You can see it. All right. Next up is Hold My Girl by Charlene Carr. We're going to read chapter 1 of that. See what we get from that. And go from there. I'll chat with you guys and let you know my thoughts. Okay, so this one's starting off kind of strange. So at the start of this, we're kind of starting off with our main character, Catherine. So Catherine is the one who, you know, successfully got pregnant, had the baby. So we're starting off with Catherine. She's kind of, she's anxious. She's anxiously trying to find her keys, and at this point, she got the call from the fertility clinic saying, hey, you know, can you come in? We kind of need to talk to you. You know, she's concerned. She's worried. You know, she doesn't know what they're going to say, but she's already kind of had this feeling that maybe her daughter isn't biologically hers. She's had these thoughts for years herself, but you know, when you have, I guess when you've wanted something like that for so long, you probably try to push that down, try to push those doubts away. You know, she found ways to explain away the, you know, the differences in this child's features compared to hers. Well, hey, I have relatives that, you know, have these similar features. Well, maybe, you know, X, Y, and Z. So she doesn't know what they want from her, but you know, she's already, you know, that mind's already going there. But what's peculiar about it is, so not only did they call and leave her this message, but apparently like the fertility clinic is celebrating their 10 years in business. So you want to call me to come in for a serious talk on the day that you're having like a party? Could we not have had this, like, don't get me wrong, like, I get it totally. You should totally, like, if you've effed up, please, you know, own it as soon as you realize it. But at the same time, it's like, you're gonna give me potentially bad news, and then I gotta smile for the cameras. So yeah, that's chapter 1. We're starting in with one of our main characters heading to the fertility clinic to, you know, get some potentially bad news. which we as the readers already done read the back of the book, so we already know she about to get some bad news. Yeah. All right, so that's book 2. That's book 2. Starting out the gate, interested in how this fertility clinic is gonna, you know, break this news to her. Not at all prepared to see this woman get devastated and crushed, but yeah, I want to see how they explain themselves. All right, so 2 chapters down, 2 books down. Don't know yet which one I'm leaning towards, but both of them kind of have, you know, both of them have definitely have me peaked. So we're gonna go next to This Motherless Land. Literally see where this is headed, and like I know what the tragedy is gonna be. I know it, and I feel it coming. I see it coming, and I already feel like the backs of my eyes like burning, because I'm like, I know what's getting ready to happen to this girl, to this family, and I already see it coming, y'all. I see it coming. Oh God. Okay. Let me just keep going. But Nikki, I know where this is going already. I know where it's going already. Yo. I knew where this was headed. Hold on. I knew where this was headed. I knew where this was headed. I knew where the tragedy was headed. I knew it. What I didn't expect was the reaction of other people to the tragic event that happens to this poor girl. Let me just say, I don't know, is this the year for like characters that are unprotected, that should have been protected? Because just like Monday, like nobody, well, don't get me wrong, Monday didn't have anybody looking out for her. There are some folks looking out for this girl in this book, but this was, first of all, this was a 30-page chapter. This is a 30-page chapter, and I have spent like the last 15 pages of it like just bawling. This baby. But I'm hoping, Jesus Louise, I am hoping that most of the tears happen in this first chapter, because baby, I can't keep going on like this. How am I crying like this already in chapter 1? Let's unpack it a little bit without like giving too much away. So what I didn't know is, I guess, the makeup of this family. So Funky is actually, they don't exactly tell you what her mother's ethnicity is, but her mother's white. They don't tell, you know, her nationality or where she's originally from. She's not originally from Nigeria. Her dad is Nigerian. Her mom is white. And apparently, so this is, I think, set in like the top of the story. It's set in like the 70s, and apparently they are, you know, they live in this community which is predominantly that's the makeup. You know, these you know, black African men married to these, you know, white women from other, you know, countries, other nationalities. You know, they go study abroad, they come back with a white woman. Love is love. That's what they do.
At this point, she's like 10, so she's a child, and so there's some things that she doesn't really understand, and you get that, you know. She'll even say like, "Oh, well, this person used this word, like I don't know what that means," you know. But you're seeing this through this eyes of this child, and you know, her dad is kind of, you know, bougie. You know, he looks down on, you know, what we would call like country here, you know, and in Nigeria, he says like bush, you know, like those are, you know, you can't trust, you know, like these, you know, these bush, you know, these bush people. So it kind of looks down on where he came from. You know, he think he better because he got a little education and he got a good little job. He think he better than where he came from. So like his mother, you know, his village where he came from, you know, they have their, you know, their old ways, their old beliefs, their old customs, you know, and a lot of it, you know, for us, we'd say, oh, that's superstitious, but you know, that, you know, where he came from, you know, that's their thoughts. Those are their thoughts, their beliefs, their traditions. So they don't really have a whole lot to do with his family. Because there was an incident where his mom basically accuses Funky of being evil because she handed her something with her left hand. And so in their culture and their tradition, you know, that's considered, you know, evil. So Funky has, you know, so she's got a mom, she's got a dad, she's got a little brother, and they're just, you know, otherwise you're your normal family. And then tragedy strikes. And what once her dad looked down upon and didn't believe, all of a sudden he believes it. And the one person who should be comforting this child and protecting this child during this time, he's not. And he's just not. He's not being a parent. He's not being a dad. And it's just to see this child treated this way. So, yeah. This is just, yeah. So the first chapter is very freaking heartbreaking. This motherless land, I did not, like I expected, you know, I knew there was going to be some heartbreaking tragedy. I just didn't expect it to, really hit me in the way that it did. I didn't expect it to be so painful and heartbreaking. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I thought we were gonna get like a little, I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, yo, I can't even breathe right now. I don't know if I have it in me. I need to, yes, we gotta finish this. We gotta make a choice. So let's start River, Sing Me Home. Let's just go ahead and wreck ourselves again. And then we will decide which book to actually follow and complete. I don't know, I'm starting to kind of lean towards this. I'm starting to because I'm kind of invested in this little girl now, and she has my heart. I'm kind of invested. This is kind of, if River Sing Me Home doesn't like blow me away in that first chapter, this might be the one we start with. Because it's already got my tears, so. All right, let's grab the next book. Battery's about to die, so I'm about to make this quick. I was just getting ready to say, oh, this is sounding kind of hopeful, and then I mean, like, I knew the whole entire book wasn't going to be hopeful, but I thought for her, our main character Rachel, there was hope on the horizon. Anyway, okay, so at the top of the book, at the start of this chapter, you know, Rachel's kind of talking about I guess she's kind of narrating about, you know, the experience of slaves and coming to, to the islands, to the Americas, on ships, and, basically not owning anything, not even owning yourself, and then getting this smidge of hope that, oh, hey, that maybe slavery's ending. And so she's talking about the day that they learned that, that that they've been emancipated, that they're free, and, how everyone is joyous, and then the plantation owner drops the bomb. Well, okay, yeah, so you're free, but actually now you're my apprentices, and y'all gotta stay and work for another 6 years. Y'all can't leave. But then Rachel gets this overwhelming sensation. She's like, her legs just start moving, her feet just, she gets this, has this vision, here's this voice, and she just got to go. And she just starts running. She stumbles upon, this group of slaves who are celebrating and dancing, and they just have this moment together. This moment of celebration that's, away from the plantation, away from, it's just for them. It's a moment for them, beyond those walls, beyond those fields. And then everyone disbands, and then she's like, so like they're heading back to the plantation though. So she's like, nah, son, I ain't going that way. And just when it looks like, the world is her oyster and she might be getting away, she gets recaptured. So yeah, so this one, I mean, it sounds interesting. I want to say something really quick before my battery dies. Just this one little bit here. It says, all her life, nothing had belonged to her, not even the children pushed out of her own body. It had seemed as if there was nothing the white man did not own. But now, here was the sea, vast, defiant, and unowned. For who? Even white men could claim it? She comes upon the sea, and she's like, she feels so small, but in a totally different way. It's like small in comparison to this body of water, like, versus feeling small, being made to feel small back on the plantation. So yeah, so sounds good. I think I made my decision though. I think we are going with this motherless land. Yeah, that just wrecked me. So that is our book we're going to read for this vlog. Woohoo! Stay tuned. Okay, that's a little better. All right. Good morning. I guess you don't realize it's morning, but it is. So next day, I'm looking a little rough. I ain't got no concealer on, so baby, no concealer, no eyebrows. But I went and got my nails done this morning, guys. I wanted a nice little fall color, and I wanted them shorter because yeah, I can't even do the medium length anymore. Like, I can't type. Anyway, I want to do a quick little reading update. I'm still not far into it yet, but y'all, there are just, like, reading this, there are some people in this life, and I get this is fiction, but there are really some people in life that are just so full of hate and jealousy and envy that it doesn't matter. Death ain't gonna change them. The death is not going to change them. This woman, like, you find out that, like, your family member has, like, died tragically, and you still have the audacity to, like, feel like ma'am, even from the grave she's still up, like, one-upping you. Like, bro, let it go. Like, this person's gone. Like, they have, shed their mortal coil. They are out of here. Whatever little beef y'all had, it's done and over with. Let it go. But I mean, I guess you could say, well, damn, at least she's keeping that same energy. Like, she ain't changing. Ain't nothing changing her.
Yeah, this one character, I just want to like chop her in the fucking throat. Like, excuse my language. I just want to throat chop her. I mean, just prejudice, racist, hateful, you know. And then when called out on it by a child, it's like, oh no, I don't have a racist bone in my body. And then like to put all your like shortcomings on somebody else. No, baby, you got to take responsibility for your life and the fact that your life didn't turn out the way you wanted it to. What she did, how she lived her life ain't got nothing to do with you. Like, if you failed because of you. This is like set in the like late 70s, early 80s, and I mean, racism wasn't, or it isn't just, you know, an issue here in the U.S. Yeah, her family definitely, Monkey's mama, her family definitely didn't agree with her marrying an African man, and her and her sister had beef, and she still, you know, like, oh wow, you know, she just had to marry that, you know, that African guy, you know. You know, these kids are probably, you know, this kid's probably a savage. Like, what the fuck, girl? This is a child. She ain't got nothing to do with your beef with your sister. Like, but that's just how deep this woman's hate for herself, hate for her sister, you know, the hate, you know, her anger at the world, whatever. That's just how trifling she is. But I'm like, already, like, you know, reading that first chapter, I was like, damn, this is Monday. Monday is not coming all over again. Like, I feel like I need to reach into this book and protect this child because ain't nobody doing it. But yeah, okay, quick story time, because I gotta go to the grocery store and I got the windows up. It's hot, so I'm in there to get my nails done, y'all, right? And so the nail tech, he goes, 3 customers or 3 people. I was like, okay, and he stopped, like right there. He stopped. I was like, oh, y'all only had 3 people yesterday? And he was like, yeah, yesterday 3 customers came in. My mom and her 2 daughters. I said in the back of my head, baby, we about to get a story. There's about to be some tea. We about to get a story. So he's like, yeah, they come in, the mother get her nails done, the daughters get their nails done. They run out. They don't pay. they run out. They get up, they run out, don't pay. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, that's crazy. His wife is a nail tech there too. She was like, yeah. And the husband, you know, so then the customer she's working on has clearly heard the story already this morning. She's like, yeah, and the husband was with them too. So Kenny's my nail tech. He was like, yeah, why the husband is, you know, talking like he's going to pay, they run out. And then he runs out after them. So the little old white lady getting her nails done, she was like, yeah, you can tell they've done this before. You can tell. First of all, y'all not gonna interrupt Kenny's story. I'm gonna need for y'all to hush up. This is his time to shine, because clearly I'm his first customer of the day. Y'all not gonna interrupt his story. That's just wild. It's sad, it's sickening. I mean, like, this is a small business. You know, don't get me wrong, I know they getting, you know, they ain't making their money because people getting their nails done, but if you can't afford to get your nails done, you can't afford to get your nails done. Take your ass to Kroger down the street, get you some little press-ons for, you know, less than $12. Get you some little press-ons and call it a day. Or, you know, save, you know, $10 from each paycheck and then get your nails done. But go to the beauty school. Don't they? I think they do nails at the beauty school, and you get, you know, they do them cheaper than at these nail salons. But I'm like, you're taking money, you're taking food out of their kids' mouths. Like, getting your nails done is a luxury. You know, I'm not excusing stealing food, but I can almost empathize with that, because you need food, but bitch, you don't need your nails done. You don't need that. I just want to gossip. Okay, you know, once you get some good gossip, you got to tell somebody. So I'm telling y'all. And then in about 15, 20 minutes when Bay goes on his lunch break, I'm going to tell him when he got me. But y'all just remember, I told y'all first. So don't ever say that I don't care about you. I wanted y'all to know the gossip first. You're welcome. I'm going to go to the grocery store. I did get the book. I did get the audio book because I want to be able to consume this and hopefully maybe, cross my fingers, finish this in this vlog or at least get far enough. But I got plans today. So nails done. Y'all, I'm going to like a little read and sip thing tonight, or at least that's my plan. So I'm gonna take the book with me there. I don't know if I'll be able to film or not. I don't know if I've never been to this. It's an indie bookstore that I've never been to, and I'm probably gonna like drop in their DMs and just be like, hey, and I just want to make sure it's okay if I can film a little bit, because I don't want to just be showing up like, bam, where's my camera? Don't get me wrong, I have, because I'm trying to get myself comfortable doing that, but because it is, I don't know, such a short event, and I've never been there before. I don't know, I kind of feel like maybe I should ask, make sure that it's okay. Yeah, all right, let me go do some grocery shopping. I'm hungry. I need a snack. Get back. Yeah. All right. I don't want nothing else. That's all I wanted. Check in with you guys later. All right, guys. So I am. It is a rainy Friday. So I'm trying to finish this book today, so I can finish this vlog today. I am about 80% in, and y'all have oh my God. This book, I will say, I have not like boohoo cried since the first chapter, but this book definitely is oh my gosh, it makes you feel all the, I'm feeling everything. This book, I have a new character to add to the list of book characters I want to fight. I'm telling you, if Funke's aunt like ever comes out the pages of this book, I'm beating that bitch's ass. Like, she needs to be like hitting the throat straight away. Just as soon as she pries herself out of the book, just welcome to the real world, homegirl. It's Friday, it's raining, it's ugly. I'm almost done with the book, but I felt like, let's have a change of venue. Let's get out of the house. And I have books. Y'all, I got these books that I've had since don't judge me. Do not judge me. But I have the library books from my last library vlog. I still got 3 of those. So let me give these people their book back. Let me give them their books back before they text me again and say, oh, you gotta pay this reshelving fee. Oh, look. God, I don't. I'm gonna give y'all these damn books. So, yeah, that's the game plan. It doesn't look too bad here today. Don't look too bad, friends. So I should hopefully I can get a little study room or a good little spot to read. But yeah, I figured this is perfect. This is cozy. Let's get in here. Let me get all packed up. I need to loosen the straps on my backpack. I look like a freaking overweight kindergartner with this damn backpack on because I'm so short. And then the straps are so, they were adjusted for my daughter's tiny little body. All right, yeah, let's get in here.
Didn't happen like that. It took me a minute to notice it. It was holding me back. It's time to move on to bigger things. Can't live in the past. Moving on to future me. I wonder who she will be. I can't help but think that there is something more to find, more to life than what I have right here, right now. Used to call it stable, now I call it stuck. Letting go, yeah, that's tough, but maybe it's all for the better and it's meant to be. It's gonna hurt at first, but then eventually it's gonna
finished This Motherless Land by Nikki May. Y'all, I think I want to rate this, 4.5. I don't know if it's a 5-star for me, but it was really, this was heavy. It was heavy, and my heart broke so much for Funke in this book, because, you know, as a child, like, the adults in your life are supposed to, you know, they're supposed to be that support system. They're supposed to be your protectors. And something horrible happened to this child. And the people in her life that should have been there to protect her weren't. I love her relationship with Liv as they're younger. And I love hearing and reading their conversations, because it just shows you the innocence of children. It really does. Like, Funke had no idea what, you know, like, racism was. So you have Margot, the aunt, you know, Funke's aunt, Liv's mom, who is just, I mean, she's evil incarnate. And then you have the grandparents who, I mean, clearly they're weak. Okay? Like, you know, you ain't talking about old people, but they had no backbone whatsoever. They let Margot basically run the show. They saw the way that she treated that child, and they allowed it. You know, they allowed it. And it's not like she had a whole lot going on. I mean, they were the money behind everything. She only had her money because of them. But they placated this grown-ass woman. They didn't want to rock the boat. So they let her be as spiteful and hateful to this child as she wanted to be, because, you know, they didn't want to upset Margot. Y'all really gonna let this woman treat your grandchild like y'all other daughters, you know, your other daughter is gone. Okay? Y'all already messed that relationship up because of y'all closed-mindedness. Y'all messed that relationship up. So I think, you know, a big part of this is, you know, it's about family and that need for family and a support system. You know, when you don't get that, just the effects that it has on you, even in your adulthood, because of everything that Funke went through. You know, as an adult, she kept everybody at a distance. You know, there were people in her life that, you know, there was a guy who was in love with her, but she kept him at arm's length. You know, one day they're in her apartment and he's like, look at your home. Like, you don't even have a bed. You know, you don't have anything on your walls. Like this looks like a prison cell. But then you get it. You understand why she lives that way. You understand why she keeps people at a distance, because every time she has attempted to hope, every time she's needed someone, she's been let down. Every time she's gotten comfortable, something has happened to her. You know, when she was a child, you know, she lost her family, and there she was being uprooted and, you know, going to a whole nother country and being the outcast, being the outsider, not being accepted. And then she slowly opened herself up and got comfortable there. And then once again, there she was being uprooted. And, you know, so it was just this cycle in her life. And, you know, once she was an adult, she was just like, no, baby, I'm build these walls up. I'm going to guard this heart, because I can't let my guard down again, because every time I do, you know, people show me who they really are. Yeah, just, you know, this book just dealt with so much, you know, family dysfunction, greed, loneliness. There's this journey of, you know, like, self-discovery and finding herself, this coming of age for her. You know, when Funke goes to England, you know, they whitewash her. They basically rob her of her identity. They're like, oh no, you know, you know, you should be Kate. You know, that's gonna work out better for you. You know, you look like a Kate. That sounds better. And so they just I'm not even gonna say slowly but surely, but they chipped away at her Nigerian, you know, identity. And she became Kate, and everything that made her, you know, funky, you know, she had to put a lid on. And as she gets older and she, you know, when she goes back to Nigeria, you know, once again, she's feeling kind of out of place because she spent so much time in England. So she never really, it's like, where's home? You know, she's constantly struggling for this, you know, sense of home, this sense of belonging. Just a really good book. Excellent. It does, by God, it does have a happy ending, and I'm so glad. Yeah, this one took me on a ride. Like I said, I highly recommend it. You are gonna feel all the emotions. You are definitely gonna feel some rage towards this aunt, because she's a bitch. She a bitch, and she definitely needed, you know, right in the book to the throat or something. I'm glad we knocked that out. I knocked that out in 3 days. Go me. Who am I? All right, so that is all that I have for you guys today. That's 1 out of 9, baby. We've gotten, well, I know I'm not gonna read 10 books this month, but yeah, so that's 1 heartbreaker. That's 1 heartbreaker down, 3 more heartbreakers to go. Well, that's all that I have for you guys today. Let me wrap this up. We are losing light. Have you read this, or have you read anything by Nikki May? Let me know. Have you read any good fiction? Any good fiction this month? Let me know down in the comments. We made it to the end, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And until the next one, friends. Bye.